Alright, happy Tuesday, February 28th. This is a video recording of today's lesson that you will be responsible for knowing and understanding, especially because we have an in-class assignment tomorrow if you are present, and we are looking at some applications of quadratics. To start, we're just going to do a little C3WB. I know we're not at the boards today, so maybe just a Q of the D. And let's just go over a couple of these questions. Go ahead and click pause, try them out, and I'll get you the solutions momentarily. Alright, for that solution, we have the vertex is 4, -8, because we have the equation y is equal to 2, x minus 4 squared minus 8. So we get the vertex from taking the opposite sign of our h value and the sign of our k value. And then for finding the y-intercept, we make x equal to 0 and solve. So here we get 0.24. In order to find the point that is symmetric, the hint was to double your x of your vertex. So if we double the x, double 4, we get 8. So it's going to be at 8 and 24. So we have this nice curve happening right about here. And why is it double? Is because our line of symmetry is at x is equal to 4, and if we're 4 spaces away on the left, we are also 4 spaces away on the right, so that means we would end up at 8 for the x of the symmetric point on the y-axis. Alright, go ahead and try the next one and press pause and take a look at the solution. Okay, for this one, the first thing we have to do is take the security guard out in front, which is a 3, and that means the a term and the b term are divided by 3, so we're left with x squared minus 4x inside the brackets, or inside the constant, plus 5. It doesn't bring us tickets, so it doesn't get to come in. Next, we have to find more people to be in the concert, so that means we divide this new b value by 2 and then square it. So it's not squared then divided by 2, it's all divided by 2 then squared. Then we bring that one in, positive comes first, then negative, and that's like it almost never happened, right? Positive 4 minus 4 is 0. Those are like the VIP, they come in the back, they don't have to deal with the bouncer out in front. Next, for being negative, they get kicked out, so the security guard or bouncer in front kicks out the -4, and we're left with -12 outside plus 5, which gives us -7. Inside the concert, we have a perfect square trinomial, so we square it the first, square it the last, take the middle sign, which is a negative, and square it. There we go. What's our vertex? If you guessed 2, -7, you got it. Awesome. Alright, we're on question number 3. Try it out and you can see the solutions momentarily. So for this question, I tried to factor it. There's no factors that were happening with 4 and 1, 1 and 1 to get 1, or 2 and 2, 1 and 1 to get 1 again. So right to the quadratic formula. So from there, we have A, B, and C as our quadratic linear constant term, sub them in, and we can find that we get a negative under the square root sign, meaning we have 2 complex conjugate roots. So we get -1 plus or minus I square root 15. Remember that I takes a part of the -1, so the I comes out as a -1. We're just leaving the 15 underneath, and we get x is equal to -1 plus, not plus now, minus I square root 15 over 8. So those are the 2 roots. If they ever ask you for the nature of the roots would be 2 complex conjugate roots. Alright, so that's it. So plug in all your numbers into the quadratic formula, figure out what's underneath the square root sign. Here we got 1 minus 16, which gives us -15. The -15 changes to I square root 15, and they're all over 8. Alright. Okay, we're going to go check out the lesson for today. Right, so we have a baseball game. Workers toss t-shirts to spectators in the stands out of a slingshot. The height of the t-shirt is multiplied by the function here, where t and h, this is just like a nice way of putting like y, but it's actually showing that h is the height and the t is time. So So it's the height in comparison to the time, where h at t is the height in meters and t is the time in seconds. Maximum height, oh, you heard the word maximum. What do you have to find? That means you have to complete the square. And we are looking for the h, which is the y value of the vertex. And how much time did it take to reach this maximum height? That would be the y of the vertex. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. So we've got h at t is equal to negative 5t squared plus 20t plus 1. Right, we have to complete the square. So take the security guard out in front. We're not going to be left with plus 20. Right, we got to divide these both by negative 5. Because we're common factoring out a negative 5, so we're left with negative 4t plus 1. The 1 doesn't get to come in. Next, we need more people at the concert, so we're going to divide the negative 4 by 2 and square it. So we get negative 2 squared, which is 4. Then it gets to come in. That's the VIP. They get to come in the back door. Positive 1 comes first, negative 1 comes next. Then after that, you get kicked out for being negative by the security guard out in front. So we have a negative 5 with the negative 4 plus 1. And it's a negative 5 as the security guard. That's why it's negative 5 there as well. Now we have a perfect square trinomial inside. Square root the first, square root the last. Okay. And then, square root the last, which is 2. And guess what? It's right here. This negative 2 is right here. It's negative 2. It's squared. You square root 4 and then take that sign, which is negative, which is showing right here as well. Perfect. And here we get 20 plus 1, which is 21. Alright, so we can see that the vertex is going to be 2, 21, where x is t and t for time. This is our time. And our y value is our height. So therefore the max height of 21, it's in meters, at 2 seconds. Alright, let's check out the next question. Alright, here we have a rectangle vegetable garden. It's 4 by 10. So 4 by 10. Is to be surrounded by 3 sides with a uniform strip. Okay, so 3 sides. Let's just do this side, and this side. So surrounded, so this is like that uniform strip that's happening here. This is a vegetable garden, which is 10 by 4. There we go. And then on the 4th side, a 10-meter side, there's a river along it that doesn't need a pathway. Okay. The total area of the garden and walkway, so everything together is 60 meters squared. How wide is the walkway? Alright, let's just call the walkway W. So it's a length of W. So let W be the width or the length of the walkway, the width of the walkway. Right, so if we're looking at the whole thing is 60, so that means the area, right? The area, total area. Okay, so area is equal to length times width. Okay, so the length is going to be, so how long is this compared to how long is this? That's what we're looking for, and everything is equal to 60. So if we know that area is equal to length times width, we know the area is 60. How long is this? And if we're calling this W, well, this is going to be like a W over here and a W over here. So we've got W10. This is 10, and then this is W, which is 2W plus 10. And that's how long it is. And then what about the other side would be, again, it's uniform width, so this is W here, and this is 4 here. So it'll just be W plus 4. Great, this is the length and this is the width. And then we have these, this is how long is this line right here? That's W plus 4. And how long is this line here? That's 2W plus 10. Alright, so let's now find it. So you need a let statement, just talking about the width, and then from there you find your binomial, two binomials, FOIL, and we'll combine and come right back. So I FOILed it and I get 2w squared plus 18w plus 40. Alright, well that's almost it, but we need to bring that 60 over to the other side as well to finish off that trinomial. So when the 60 comes over the other side, it's going to become a negative, so 40 minus 60, that gives us negative 20. Okay, from there we are going to factor it. We're going to try to factor it. Okay, because anytime you see a trinomial, you try to factor. Okay, so we can common factor at the 2, and we're left with w squared plus 9w minus 10. Alright, and from there, let's factor that. So we get 0 is equal to 2, and w, which is 1 and 1, and 10, which is 10 and 1, can give us 9 by doing 10 minus 1. So we have w plus 10 and w minus 1 for our two factors. Here the 2 actually, we can divide the 2 off, and the 2 actually cancels out. Like when we divide by 2 and divide by 2, this is actually 0 plus 10 w minus 1. The 2 is divided, the 0 divides the 2, and there's actually no more 2 left. So you can divide this by 2 and divide this by 2, and then the 2's are gone. Next, we're going to take both of these and see that we get 10w. W plus 10 is equal to 0, and w minus 1 is equal to 0. So w is equal to negative 10, and w is equal to 1. Now, can you have a negative width? Absolutely not. So we call this inadmissible. And so therefore, the walkway is 1 meter wide. Alright, so find the minimum product. So minimum, that means complete the square of two numbers whose difference is 12. Okay, what are the two numbers? So let's say let x be one number, and then off this side we're going to find our difference. So x, and let's just pretend like y is the other number for a second, is equal to 12. Now if we wanted to find y, let's rewrite this so that y is on the other side, so we get, and then 12 is on this side. Let's kind of switch those. So y jumps over here, it becomes a positive, and 12 jumps over here, it becomes a negative. So actually our next number is going to be this, and let x minus 12 be the other number. Difference means subtract. We're finding just 2x and x minus 12 be the other number, and we're told that we have a product, so that means to multiply. Their difference is 12. So if we have x minus 12, y is equal to 12, and we switch those, we're showing that the other number is going to be x minus 12. So x is one number, x minus 12 is the other number, and let's find their product. The product of these are x and x minus 12. Let's FOIL this. So again, we're trying to find that trinomial or something or other that's happening. Yep, there it is, in order to complete the square. Here we just don't have a constant value. Okay, so let's complete the square. So we're going to common factor a 1 out in front, so we are left with x squared minus 12x, and then the negative 12 divided by 2 and square it, we get 36. So 1x squared minus 12x plus 36 minus 36. No one's outside, but the negative 36 gets kicked out by the positive 1. This is x minus 6 squared minus 36. So therefore we have a minimum product is always the minimum, or the maximum is always your y of negative 36. There we go. And your x value is